I don't know about you, but I get excited about all these virtues because the more we study them, the more we realize they are the foundation for everything that we do. So, on to trustworthiness, which is the foundation for all our relationships, really. A trustworthy person is someone in whom you can place your trust and who can be relied on to keep that trust and not to betray it. A trustworthy person is a person of integrity, a person who is loyal, a person who is courageous and will tell the truth even if it's awkward or difficult and sometimes even dangerous. It's a person for whom trustworthiness underlies all their business and personal relationships. A person who is trustworthy doesn't need supervision. They can be relied upon to be carrying out their responsibilities to the best of their ability. Initially, we learn trustworthiness from our parents or our guardians. As parents or guardians or mentors, we need to be asking ourselves all the time, are we carrying out our trust towards our children? Are we acting responsibly? Are we doing what we say we're going to do? Are we nurturing them as human beings in all the virtues? It is so important, this task of raising the next generation of trustworthy souls. There's a quote here from the author and the monk Tolbert McCarroll, and he describes our time as parents, our time in this earthly world as running a race, and he says this, "You are the seeds of the world to come. All that has gone before and all that is yet to come is within you. You are running in a relay. This is the moment you have been chosen to hold the torch. You cannot refuse to run." So we have this responsibility towards our children. We have to carry it out. Being trustworthy is not automatic. It takes commitment and it takes practice, like all the virtues. So a few suggestions for us to develop our trustworthiness and to help our children develop it. And the first is obvious. Be honest. Even if it's difficult, tell the truth. Another thing we can do sounds simplistic, but also is profound. Be on time. When we're chronically late, we're sending a signal to others that we don't value their time or them. So be punctual. Another thing that's important is to apologize when we make a mistake, to own up to it, and to take responsibility for our actions. One other way that is huge is not to gossip. When we are speaking ill of somebody behind their back, we are betraying them. I've also heard it said, and this is just in our own self-interest, that if people will gossip with you, they're going to gossip about you too. So just in our own self-interest. And finally, keep confidences. If people place their trust in you, be worthy of that. Before we leave the virtue of trustworthiness, there's a complementary virtue that I'd like to mention in relation to it, and that is the virtue of forgiveness. We are human, we make mistakes, people mess up. They're definitely going to mess up, just as we are. We have to be prepared to forgive. What we do when someone betrays our trust is very important, and it takes discernment to know how to respond appropriately. Especially in the case of children, we have to be forgiving. They are works in progress. In fact, we're all works in progress, which is one of the wonderful things about being alive. So we can't be hard, we can't be harsh. We have to give people the chance to make a mistake and correct it. Children learn trustworthiness when you put your trust in them. So don't take it away because they've slipped up. Help them to overcome it. Too often I hear people say, "Oh, I don't speak to so-and-so anymore because..." And then oftentimes they list something that's happened way in the past and which in the grand scheme of things is really petty. And for that, they've broken those social ties. This is not how society hangs together. We have to be prepared to forgive. It is a requirement if we're going to be practicing the virtue of trustworthiness. So be trustworthy and allow others to be trustworthy by occasionally forgiving them if they need it. So those are just a few words about trustworthiness. Thanks for joining me. I hope you'll join me again for the next video. And if you enjoyed this one, it would be great if you would hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you feel moved, welcome to visit my Patreon page. Thank you.